welcome to Faithart Design Studio. It is a reveal day. I'm launching the next Faith Windows Kit, and this is a topic that a lot of people have asked if we could do a study on. And so after prayer and research, I ended up writing a study called Grace Revealed. So we are going to be looking at 7 verses that talk to us about what grace is, which the definition of grace is unmerited favor, but that's freely given to us through Jesus Christ. So every verse is going to focus on a different aspect of grace, from its transformative power that it can have in our daily lives. So I decided that grace felt like blues. So this is a blue kit, I guess, because I've been doing so much pink and yellow kits, right? So I'm going to flip through and show you. As always, there is 7 verses that we do a devotional Bible study. There's the verse. I ask a reflection question. There's an application question. And then there's just some journal content ideas if you wanted to do something, like here's an idea for Ephesians 2:8-9. Create a gift box page. Write down what grace means to you, or add a page with a picture of a present. So I'm just trying to help you get some ideas of how you can actually journal the Bible study, okay? And then this kit is, my new thing is to do vertical pages and horizontal pages, okay? So I'm going to flip through the vertical pages. When you purchase this kit in my Etsy shop, there's 2 PDF files. The first one is going to be this, 30 pages, I think, of all of the ephemera and all of the pages. And I've done a break. So you get 2 designs on one page. It keeps the scale of the design in a good way. And then the second PDF file has all the same graphic pages done in the horizontal. Okay, so let's flip through. Aren't these? Yes, I'm going to say this about everything. Yes. When I just started putting this together, oh, I was so happy. Look at this. Blues. We are going to go into some blue. And can't you just see verses about grace on these pages? Oh, I can. With lots of flowers and damasks and collage done. I think this is a pretty page. There's another one that's just, I did some collage on there. Just some big flowers, which can be so much fun. And then I gave us some ledger types of paper that are really fun to use in the journal, and had to put some harlequin in there. I just love that. And I gave us 2 colors and some of that. Another piece of ledger paper. Here's another vintage ledger page. This is a fun one to work around also. Can be a good background. This you can hardly see, but there are lines on here. It's very faint, and some lines. This is just kind of a beigey, grungy beige. Okay, and then so you get 7 tags this size. You get what I call word fedi, which are words that are found in the verses or thoughts and ideas, okay? I gave you another 6 tags, and if you print, I didn't print the Bible verses. That's what I forgot to print. Okay, I'll show you those in a moment. Anyway, you can put the Bible verses, if you print them on sticker paper, right on any of these tags. The other thing that I want to encourage everybody to think about is, these are just, yes, it's a tag shape, but they're actually little snippets of color. And so if you just wanted to think about, like you wanted to use one as a pocket or a belly band or something, just cut that top part off. So don't be bound by, oh, I have so many tags, but I don't have enough other pages. And then here, obviously, some fun ephemera that I gave us, some numbers and G for grace on some blue flowers. And you can, here's 2 more big tags that are really fun. You can make little mini books out of those. There's the tabs with the 7 verses. Here's some tickets. And then you always get the 8 Bible verse cards. So I gave us some blue ones and some beige ones. And then, as I said, the full pages, these are the full pages. Beautiful. I'm so in love with these damask and brocades and, you know, oh, they're just, and I love the gigantic flowers. So you can make any kind of a junk journal with this. And just to let you know, this is 28-pound copy paper. I did not use my matte photo paper. Why, you might ask? Because I think these are softened tones, and I like the vintagey look. And when you put it on matte photo paper, it's going to be beautiful. You can do any way you want. I'm just making a comment that I'm just printing this on 28-pound copy paper. See, I love the softness of that. And that one's just so pretty. And then we've got some, you know, like tatting lace. There's that fun collage, a different version of it. There's the lined paper, and then there's those two. Okay, let me show you the Bible verses. I had requests a couple of times for people who have asked me. I usually use the NIV version when I do the Bible verses. And a couple people have asked, could I do them in the King James version? And so this is what I do now in the kits. I have the King James version page and the NIV version. So you can use either one. You don't have to print both of them. I printed them just to show you. Obviously, I've added some fun word art in different fonts for the word grace. And then I gave you some more word art, grow in grace. It's all about that grace. Grace wins, amazing grace. How sweet the sound. Grace upon grace, and his grace is enough. And then I always give you the logo that I used for whatever that is. So that's the kit. Are you excited? Because I am. I'm excited to dive into that. Now, here's what I'm thinking I want to make. You can make anything you want. And because of the way I've given you the papers, you could do horizontal, you can do a vertical, you can do basically any kind of a journal that you want. These kinds of pages work really great in a paper bag journal. They work really great in an accordion journal. And then the horizontal work also that way. Okay, this is what I want to make. And I'm going to show you how to make this. So I decided that it would be fun to make an accordion, but I'm calling it an accordion folio because this is going to be like the cover, and I'm going to put the policy envelope circle thing, I think, and then wrap it around it. And so what I've done is I've cut out my foundation out of manila folders. Now these are some really nice ones. And what I've done is you need 2 manila folders if you want to make this, okay? And I'm going to give you the instructions in a second. I just want you to see what it looks like. So because we have 7 verses, I always think about I want a cover, then I want a back cover, right? And then we need at least 7 places to put our Bible study. So when I decided to number these. So we've got 6 on the front, right? And then you flip it over. There's the back cover. And then you've got the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and then there was the cover. So the reality is we have 3 extra. And if you wanted, I used 2 manila folders, but I folded them in 3, right? You could cut one off, so you don't need to have that extra one. Sometimes I like to just have some extra space. Some of the verses for me, I end up going deeper and I've got more information and not enough, place to put it. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to be making. Now, if you can, maybe you can see or maybe you can't. Basically, you get 2 file folders, okay? You cut off the tabs. Let me get 2 file folders and I can show you a little bit easier. Okay, I got 2 file folders. And so you need 2 file folders, and then you need something to cut them with, and you need some masking tape, okay? You can get masking tape at Dollar Tree, of course. So the first thing that you want to do, now, if you're when I'm going to give you this information and these dimensions, this is for the size that I wanted to make. You can make it any size you want. Like I said, you can make this paper bag journal. Okay, you can do anything that you want. I decided that I wanted an 8-inch high, okay, journal, and that I wanted them to be 5 inches. So it's a 5 by 8. So that's the first thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your file folder, you're going to put it in your cutting platform. You are going to trim off, totally trim off, and you have to do it at the very bottom of where the first one is. Okay, the tabs is what I'm trying to say. So these are really thick ones. So you're going to cut it like that. You're going to do that with the other one. This is a really thick one. And then you're going to trim it at 8. Right? So there's 8. Now keep these pieces because they make great backgrounds for when you're making lace tags and stuff like that. You can also use these as large page tabs if you wanted to do that. So don't throw those away. Okay, so now you're left with your piece is 8 inches tall, right? And it's like almost 7 7/8. I'm really bad with that. I'm not going to do the second one because you know exactly what I'm going to say. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is if you have a scoreboard, which I do, so I'm going to use it. You are going to put this on your scoreboard. So you're going to open it back up, okay? So you put on your scoreboard, you put the one edge obviously over there, and I am going to score at 5. This is a very thick folder, so I'm going to do it twice. Then I'm going to come over to the 10, okay? And I'm going to score on the 10. Double it, right? Then this next piece, if you put it over here, you kind of need to go ahead and fold where you're making the fold. You're going to ignore the natural fold of the paper, okay? So there's the 5. And so for this first one, this is 5 would be there, and there it's like 1/2, almost 5 3/4 is what it is. So what I do with this is I score it on the 5 again. So you do 5, 10, and then 5 again, okay? And what that leaves you with is a small fold over, okay? So there's your 5. There's the next 5. Now, for the first one, I have it scored, but I forgot. I actually would cut this off, okay? Because you're going to do 2 of these, right? You're going to just trim that off because you're not going to use it. And then you are going to put the pieces together just like this. And you're going to use, I don't want to do it, I'm just going to show you. You're going to use your masking tape on both sides and you're going to tape it together, okay? Now, what I did on this is I took the masking tape and I also went over, I'm going to show you how I do this. This just kind of removes the bend that's naturally there because that's where the file folder came together, right? I mean, that's the way it came as a folder. So basically, I put this on there like that, and I kind of wrap it around. What that does is it reinforces, because you want this to be 5 inches wide. You don't want to bend in the middle of it. That's not where our fold is, okay? So that's what I do, and then I've reinforced that. Would help you cut straight, Diane. Okay, so that's how you can get that. So as I said, on the first one, you actually want to cut this off. The second one, whatever is left over, because it depends on where your tabs were, that's what you bring around. So let's look back at the ready one, right? So I'm going back and forth, right? And when I did this one, it had tabs in a different place. I ended up with almost 1 3/4. And so what I did was I gave myself, I scored like a 1/2 inch. I needed a little bit of a, like a spine so that it will wrap around there. See how I did that? So that's gonna be my cover. So one of them, one of them you trim this extra off, the other one you keep it on and you do your scores. So that's how you create the cover, okay? So if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. And next, I am going to start covering this and making it, and you will see the videos of us doing that. Now, my thought process was this. I saw Marguerite on 7 Plaza. She did this really fun thing the other day. She made a junk journal out of Amazon paper, an Amazon paper envelope that we get our stuff in. And I had one and I opened it up. It just didn't feel like it was going to work for being only 5 inches. I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood to do that. So I just decided to use, manila folder. You could use an Amazon paper bag, open it up, and to make this. But one of the things that she did was, it was way tall, so she folded it up. So instead, what I've done is I've cut that off, because this particular, if you have a, this is super heavy cardstock. I'm just going to let you know. This would not have folded up and laid down. It would have been way too bulky. So that's why I cut mine off to be 8. What I'm going to do, my thought is that I thought it'd be kind of fun, is to have a pocket. Basically, when you open it up, it's going to look like it's all the way across. And all of my notes about one verse would be in that pocket, like making little booklets. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. And then, of course, I have to have a faith window. Maybe I put that on the cover, something I'm going to put in within a window, because this is a faith window kit. So those are my thoughts. Watch the next video and you will see how these papers just make this junk journal exquisite. Please like this video. Please comment and let me know if you're interested in making this kind of a journal, or if you have any questions. And I hope you're subscribed to my channel. And until next video, grace and peace to you.